362, 363, 364, 365, 366, 367, 368. Hello everybody and welcome to Shenaniderp. So I know that in the last episode I promised I'd show you the finished wool producing machine, but I started building it with all of the fabricators and all that fun stuff, and, well, it's going to take more than a stack of fabricators to make. And it's horribly inefficient. I mean, we got one fabricator here to turn it from white to orange, then we have a fabricator here to turn it from white to orange, and then another fabricator to turn it from orange to magenta, and then over here we got the orange one, the magenta one, and then the next one, and then, it's just the same process is repeated 14 times, basically. And it's not pretty. So, I was thinking that there's got to be another way to do that, an easier way, a better way to do that, but so far I can't think of it. I'm working on it. I'm thinking about using turtles. And then after I started thinking about using turtles, I started thinking about using the crafty turtle. You know, the turtle that can craft items in its inventory automatically. But the documentation on the crafty turtle is somewhat limited in its details. I have no idea how it works, and I haven't found a place to tell me how to do that yet. So I'm still working on it, but I think the crafty turtle is going to be my answer. I just have to figure out how to do it. And I was thinking about just using the crafty turtle and 14 fabricators. But that's still a lot of fabricators. I could probably do this significantly smaller and easier. So I'm going to work on that, but not today. No, today I think we have had enough building. I think we've done enough, well, machine building. There's never enough building in Minecraft. Today we are going to go back outside. Woo. And I'm going to try this building while talking thing. Basically how all of the Let's Players do it, where they start telling stories and all that fun stuff while they're building stuff. Well, let me show you something that I've been working on a little bit. Yeah, okay, that is almost exactly the same as it was, except it's moved. Yes, I tore down all of the buildings, except for the clock tower, which I am seriously thinking about rebuilding, because compared to that, the clock tower kind of looks meh. So I think I'm going to rebuild it. But I moved the houses because I figured out that the main problem with my building of the other houses is that they weren't big enough. There wasn't enough space to really work with them. So I decided to just start building bigger. And I also figured out that my frames per second issue is not due to the micro blocks. When I had all of the houses torn out, I checked my frames per second, and yeah, no, it was still running at about 28 frames per second. Right now, I have every single machine downstairs turned off. All of them, and even the quarry that's in another dimension, it's turned off. And I'm still running at 30 frames per second right now, 29 frames per second. So it didn't help much, if any. I'm not dropping to 24 frames per second, so that's a bonus, but still, 30 frames per second is still pretty bad. I convinced Adult to give me a map download of the place, of the world. so I can spend some serious time, I'd say lag busting, but we don't have lag problems. I have frames per second issues. Yeah, this is the second house I built. I figured I wanted it 2 stories, but I didn't want it as big as that building over there. So I decided to make the second floor like an attic style thing where the room is in the attic. I haven't done anything with this yet. And you know what? I don't know if I'm going to split this area up. Like, I could split this or over here into its own little room and make like a bedroom and stuff like that. Put over here like a seating room. But I don't know. But I'm not really worried about the interior. Whoever moves in can worry about the interior. I'm just worried about how it looks outside. And that's what I'm working on right now. And yeah, so this is basically the same house as Adult's house was before, except I switched it up a little bit. Before, the door used to be on the other side of the house, but I moved it over here kind of by accident, actually. I meant to put the garden in the back, so basically this entire thing rotated like 90 degrees, and then the door would still be here, but it would be against that wall, or in this wall, because this is one of the more boring walls. But it worked out. I think it worked out pretty good. And I put a lot of effort into deciding how to just put in the stairs, because I was going to put them in here, but it didn't really work out. Okay, basically what I did was, originally how the stairs were is they would come up here and you would exit here. But I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted it so you come up here and then exit out here, and then you'd have this whole space over here. Like it's like a separated space. You could make like a sitting area for like, I don't know, tea and stuff. But having the stairs start here and then go up didn't work all that well with the cupboard that I had under the stairs. And I really wanted to keep the cupboard. And that didn't work out all that well either. But hey, it works. It's now a coat cupboard. A coat closet, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I think I did pretty good with this. But today I am going to build a third house. And I've already dug out this area. It's 12 by 12, which is exactly the same amount of space as that house takes up and that house takes up. If you count this area here. So this house, this wall here is 12 blocks wide. This wall here is 12 blocks wide. So its footprint is 12 by 12, but because I don't have anything here, it just kind of wraps around the other house, and I kind of like that idea. However, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to build something that's different from those two houses. And I really want to use a different building material than the other two houses. However, nothing else looks good. I mean, I really, really, really like the rubber wood with the spruce planks. It just fits so well. And I think anything else would just kind of stick out like a sore thumb. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it here. So, let's see if we can make something useful. Now, this house. I'm thinking about... That is a very good question. What am I thinking about? How about I put in a porch? Yeah, I'm thinking porch this time. And I'm also thinking that I probably want it lifted up one. So instead of like this house where you walk in on ground level and this house where you walk in on ground level, I'm thinking this house you walk up the stairs to the porch. and then into the house. So I will have to fill in the ground level. So let's see if I can start telling stories. I'm gonna attempt to. I promise nothing though, because I'm kind of bad at thinking and speaking at the same time. It was really fun when I had to do tech support, trying to think of the problem and explain to the person why it's not what they thought it was. Yeah, quite difficult. Am I out of dirt already? Holy crap, I'm out of dirt already. Do I have any more in here, or am I going to go downstairs? So I was poking around on G+, on Google+. Yeah, I know, holy crap, somebody actually uses that thing. And ThinkGeek posted a little blurb about a contest they were doing. Basically, you just enter to win a bunch of possible different packages, but it was Star Trek themed for the whole new Star Trek movie. What's that thing called? Into Darkness? I don't know. I don't particularly care about the new movie because I don't particularly care about the new reboots. Not that big of a fan. It was an okay. I think it was a good homage to the original series, but if that's my opinion, it's not saying much because I'm not too much of a fan of the original series. I know I'm going to get yelled at by Star Trek geeks everywhere, but I'm just not a fan of the original series. Alright, how do I want to do this? I don't want the house to take up more than 20 blocks of space, but of course I could and just make the roads a little wonky. Like this right here. That's weird. And it would work. I could pull it off. And the bigger on the inside, the better. So, yeah, let's go with that. So I'll make the porch like here. Let's make it 5 by 5. 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I signed up for the giveaway because it's ThinkGeek, and giving out my address to ThinkGeek doesn't really bother me since they already have my address. And one of the parts of the survey was you needed to select your favorite Star Trek series. Okay, I can go with that. The problem with that is that they said the choices were the new reboots, the movies, the original series. I don't even know what I'm looking for anymore. I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time, and it's screwing with my brain. But yeah, the new movies, the original series, or the Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise. Yeah, 3 options. The rest of the series were 1 option. So I had to post a little reply back to that saying, you ask us for which one is our favorite series, and then you put the best series and lump it in with the worst. What the crap? And I also added, but in Voyager's defense, the worst series of Enterprise is still better than 99% of TV. And somebody responded back, Voyager can't be the worst series of Star Trek unless you're completely dismissing Enterprise. And I know a lot of people out there probably said the same exact thing. It's like, how can you say that Voyager is better or is worse than Enterprise? Well, I'll tell you how I can say Voyager is worse than Enterprise. It's actually fairly easy. Voyager is worse than Enterprise if you take Enterprise in context, in its own context. Should I start thinking about a different kind of wood? Or maybe make this thing out of some type of material, some other type of material entirely? Like basalt brick, maybe? Well, I could start with basalt brick. I don't know, but having too much of too many different types might be a bad idea as well. Ooh, what if I do this? If I make the base like this, the pillars, like how I have the rubber wood here, the pillars, make that out of basalt brick, and then figure out what else I want for the walls. That might look too cluttered. I don't know. Let's figure it out and move on. Anyways, Enterprise. I do not think Enterprise was the worst series because it was actually pretty good. If you compare it to, say, the original series and the Next Generation, you realize that Enterprise is actually more in the vein of Star Trek than Voyager or DS9. Now, I'm not a particular fan of Voyager. The storyline was jumbled and not actually that good to begin with. The characters were... There was absolutely no such thing as plot development in Voyager. None whatsoever. It was actually quite annoying. Like, Harry Kim. He was the Greenhorn for 7 fucking years. And I know, they tried to fix that particular problem. They hung a lantern on it, for Christ's sakes. I mean, he comes out and says, I've been doing this for 5 years, it's time I started, speaking for myself. Well, you know what happened after that episode? They forgot he decided to start speaking for himself. And he turned back into the Harry Kim we all know. Yeah, there was no plot development whatsoever, or no character development whatsoever. Granted, I will give it that in the original series there was no character development either. I mean, think about it. Kirk was Kirk. I mean, how else do you describe Kirk? Kirk was Captain Kirk. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. And while that's still pretty badass, the nothing more is kind of a problem. I mean, think about Picard, okay? Picard was, he had emotion, he had background, family troubles, he played this flute-like thing, or what the crap was that thing? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he played an instrument. All this stuff, whereas Kirk banged green women. Yeah, there's kind of nothing else involved here. But Voyager was pretty much the same way. The only real time that they actually did any kind of serious character development was with 7 of 9. And I know that's going to sound weird, but it's absolutely true. And it had a lot of potential. If it wasn't for the fact that they really started exploring 7 of 9's character development in the last episode of the series. Yes, the episode Endgame is when they decided to explore 7 of 9's humanity. Outside of that, she was just the Borg. And nobody cared. Yes, I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try it and see. But Enterprise, on the other hand, it had, decent character interaction. It actually had a pretty good plot, in my opinion, to an extent. The whole time travel thing didn't actually bother me. You want to know what bothered the hell out of me? Was the whole... We start the episode with this dramatic cliffhanger and then go into, 2 days earlier. I mean, shit, that was what? Season 3, the last half of the season, they kept doing that over and over and over again. And yes, I can understand, time pretty well, actually. That might have been one of the reasons why I actually understood Enterprise, is because I'm actually pretty good at temporal dynamics or whatever. I kind of see the world in 4 dimensions. X, Y, Z, and time. So the whole time travel thing never actually bothered me. This is a problem. I can't put a window there. I mean, are we just not going to have a window on the door side? We're not going to have a window on the door side. I don't know. That looks pretty good for windows. So let's look at this outside. Fucking micro blocks. They don't look right because of the lighting. And there's nothing I can do about it. Though it kind of does look like the porch was kind of a second thought kind of thing. Like, they added the porch after the fact. Which isn't that bad, actually. Alright, let's go see if I can find some more of this good glass. Makes me wish you could cut that into micro blocks, but you could only cut regular glass into micro blocks. The glass viewers, you can't. Yeah, so that's why I think Enterprise was actually not that bad. There was actually a pretty decent storyline that went with it, and it really started getting good when they suddenly realized that they were going to be canceled. At least this is what I think happened. They suddenly realized they were going to be canceled, and they went, oh crap, we have to answer this Klingon thing. Why do the Klingons that show up in the very first episode, in fact, it's the very first character you see out of Star Trek in the series. Oh, wait, no, you see young Jonathan Archer and his dad. No? Yes. Oh, crap, I forget. It's been a while since I watched the series. But, yeah, he's the first alien you see in the entire series. You see him being chased by a couple of Suliban. So, they had to very quickly answer why, oh why do Klingons have forehead ridges? And then they got into the storyline of the augments and the Klingon scientists trying to augment Klingons to make them stronger, and that's why, and it mutated into a disease, and that's why Klingons didn't have forehead ridges for a while. I mean, they even point out and say that it will take somewhere around like 60, 80 something odd years to be able to fix the problem that they caused. And that's actually is when it started getting really, really good. When they decided, screw this time travel BS. We have a series to kill off. And that's really when it started getting good. Of course, I also believe that Enterprise is a series outside its time. You know what? I don't think I'm liking the basalt brick there. It doesn't feel right. Maybe it doesn't feel right because it's the wrong kind of wood. The only problem is the only other kind of wood that I have in serious abundance is jungle wood. And I always thought jungle wood looked a little green and sickly. Yeah, jungle wood. But let's give it a try and find out. Ooh, this texture pack might make that a different story entirely. Because the texture pack, some of the stuff looks a little weird. Okay, so, Star Trek Enterprise, a series outside its time. That is not the thing I need to be tearing down. It's the wood that I need to make go away. Okay, so, how do I explain what I mean by series outside its own time? Star Trek Enterprise was a series that tried to blend the best of DS9 with the best of the original series. But the original series is a show that if it aired today, like if they come out, we have this new series, it's called Star Trek, we're going to air it, it'll start next Monday. That series would be canceled so freaking fast. Nobody would like the series. I'm not joking. If the original series aired today, everybody would hate it. It would be a horrifying flop. Because it would be outside its time. It is a series written for when it was created. What was that? The 60s? You know what? I used to know when the original series aired. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, the original series is for that time, not for now. Enterprise is a transitional series. It would be a good series to go in between the original series and like Voyager or DS9. The problem is, big problem with that idea is, we already had a series like that. It was called The Next Generation. The Next Generation was a transitional series. And I mean, think about how bad Season 1 of The Next Generation was. Oh my god. That was not a good season for Next Generation. No. No, not at all. The lighter wood makes it look horrific. Actually, it makes it look cheap, but... and I really just don't want to be repeating that pattern of Kellers over and over and over again. This is difficult as hell. Though I guess I could. I don't want to. But, I mean, think about it. If you're at a castle village, you use the materials that are around to build your homes. And your homes don't end up being that different in Keller. However, the materials that are around in massive abundance, well, let's see, I see some great trees over there, great logs, sand, dirt, stone, and way over there is a jungle. So technically the stuff that's in abundance is jungle wood. However, that still looks ugly as sin. Ooh, I know what I can try. Instead of rubber wood, let's go with jungle wood. Though that might be a little too sickly green. I don't know. The colorblind guy is trying to color coordinate. Doesn't work all that well. Whee! Yeah. So let's start with that. That should be good enough to give me an idea of what I'm doing. Yes, I hope I explained what I think about Star Trek Enterprise well enough. Ooh, whoops. Ew! Oh, God, no. That answered that question quick. Alright, it's all coming down. I don't think I can salvage it at this point. I think it all has to come down. What if I just used regular stone bricks? No, that might blend into the background a little too much. Where is my stone bricks? Let's see, do I have any other good stories? Well, I do kind of have this thing, which I'm not really going to get into just yet. It has potential. I will have to give it more of a thorough try. Okay, so I spent today, well, part of today, the last, I don't know, 20 minutes, before I started recording, setting up something for adults. And I'm not going to say what it is because, while it's not really a prank, it's set up in the style of a prank. It's a surprise. I want to surprise him with it. So, I'm not going to say what it is. And hopefully, when if he ever logs back in, he will find it and find it absolutely amazing. Granted, I could probably just show it off in this episode. It's not like he's going to see it. He doesn't watch my episodes anymore. Okay, there we go. No. No, I don't like it. I don't know. That's the problem. The darker wood here, like I have, it feels posh, I guess is a good word for it. Whereas the lighter stuff over here feels cheap. I don't know. Looks like I'm stuck with jungle wood and spruce wood. And I think, yeah, I'm definitely going to not have the porch made out of stone brick either. However, the general shape seems like a good idea to me. So, I think that's what I'm going with. Well, I think that might qualify as a mild failure of an episode. But you do get a general idea of what I have to do to build houses like that. And you know what? That house I'm still impressed with. This house not so much, but it still looks pretty good. I really don't want to do the nether brick trim on that house as well. Because right now I want to keep that house as kind of the house of the city. I will probably build a better one later on, but right now I still want that house to be the house of the city. This is the house that everybody goes, ooh, ah. But yeah, okay, so this is the general concept that I have to go through to build a house. So what I will do, off camera, is rip out the wood and the stone bricks and the basalt bricks and replace them with wood like that. And I'll see how that goes. And we will revisit this concept in the next episode. So, I will say to you guys, I will actually ask you guys to tell me what you guys think. Well, actually, there's a couple of things. You know what, I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to keep talking to you guys. So we're getting a little bit a longer episode. But, I was poking around the web. Actually, okay, technically I was in my Twitter feed. I follow Daniel Hardcastle, Nerdcubed. No idea if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. I don't think I've ever heard his last name spoken. And names are strange. Just like, I'm Chrono, not Chrono, which is a common mispronunciation of my name if people just see it. Nope. Chrono. Long O. Long O, even though I don't declare that it's a long O by using an E anywhere. I know. Anyways, he pointed out something I found absolutely fascinating. He was complaining about Nintendo and how Nintendo really doesn't like Let's Players. Okay, I honestly don't know their opinion on Let's Players. If we give them a fair go, they don't, or how do I say, they request advertisements on anybody who does a Let's Play video. Basically, if you do a Let's Play video with Nintendo stuff and you monetize it, or probably don't monetize it, YouTube or Nintendo says, we want the advertising money. If you don't have ads on it, put ads on it, we want the advertising money. And yeah, that didn't go over well with the Let's Play community. Because Nintendo doesn't seem to fully grasp the concept of the Let's Play. There's more to it than some guy is playing your game and recording it. No. good Let's Players add more content. I like to teach. I like to show the behind things. I love the concept of answering the question, why? Why do we do things a certain way? Some tell stories. Some are freaking hilarious. Like Nerd Cubed. And that adds a significant amount to a Let's Play video. If you're just playing the game, it sucks. Seriously. I question the quality of this video, and I'm telling stories. I'm talking about Star Trek. Which, hey, if you got an opinion on Star Trek, throw that in the comments too. I'm all for that. I like hearing dissenting opinions. But, yeah, so anyways, he pointed out that Valve doesn't feel that way, and gave a link to the frequently asked questions page, the about page, or something like that. Wait, is that the right color wood already? I think it is. Yes, it is. Holy crap. Well, that makes life easier. And I was reading the frequently asked questions, and it turns out they have absolutely zero problem with monetization. Like, putting up Let's Play videos and putting advertisements on them. None whatsoever, and it covers all of their games. It didn't say a specific games, it said all of their games. So I'm like, ooh, that just added, like, what, a dozen games to the games I can play? And I really started looking at it. I've been looking into it pretty hardcore recently about that kind of stuff. Blizzard. Why does it look darker in my hands than it does there? No, I guess it doesn't. It's an optical illusion. But Blizzard Entertainment is perfectly fine with YouTube monetization videos. Problem is, it seems to be only YouTube. You can't do it on any other site, which is a little silly, but yeah, that already looks better. Yeah, so, let's see, who was it? Double Fine, the creators of Psychonauts, Costume Quest, which is actually a shockingly good game. I didn't expect much out of that game. I got way the hell more than I expected. That's actually a pretty good game. Yeah, anyways, yeah, they are perfectly fine with YouTubers. So, I put it to you. Out of all of the games that I'm okay with monetizing on, what games would you like to see me play? Now, we have this pretty impressive list of games that we are actually allowed to play. Actually, compared to all the games that are out there, the list is quite small and crappy. But there's a pretty decent sized list out there. So, yeah, if you guys want to see me play any, let's see, Double Fine, Blizzard, Valve game, and there's probably a couple of others, yeah, let me know in the comments, and I will do that. Whee! And yeah, let me know what you guys think about these kind of videos, the building kind of videos where I'm talking. And in my own defense, before you guys start berating me hardcore, which I expect, in my own defense, it was either this or no video at all. Because I did not have it today. I would not be able to do something complex like an infinite machine build. Yeah, so sorry if you don't like it. Let me know, and if it's pretty much universal that, hey, don't do this again, I won't. But yeah, definitely let me know if you guys want me to play another game. I guess I could play some Kerbal Space Program, but the problem with that game is I'm not good enough at it to be able to do a this is how you do things kind of video. But I also don't suck at it hard enough to do really awesome, holy crap, what the hell just blew up kind of videos. I'd have to, like, stage things, and honestly, I'm not really good at acting on the spot. I'd have to prepare long in advance. It would take me forever to make videos. I can't do that kind of stuff on the fly. So, but hey, if you guys want to see more Kerbal Space Program, I'd say just let me know as well. So, yeah, let me know what you guys want to see, and let me know what you think about this video. I guess that can qualify as the what you guys want to see. But I will see you guys in the next episode, and this is for real this time. And I will say it to you guys as always, keep playing the game, and have fun.